why that I'm here, why I'm doing this video right now, is to share with you exactly why that I'm doing this and why me. I spent the last 25 plus, almost 30 years obsessed with understanding why human beings, why I was doing the things that I was doing, why the things that I wanted to have happen in my life. Like, why was it so damn difficult for it to show up? You know, I was so drawn to material from way back 100 years ago. I would be obsessed with these old writings and teachings, and then I met Abraham, and then in like 2001, like right after September 11th, I really did. It was the first time that I heard my guides. Didn't know who they were or what it was, but I knew it was something different than that little jacked up voice in our head. It was just something different, and I knew it with every cell in my body. I heard them say, "This is why you came here." 9/11 was the catalyst for a lot of stuff that we are now still in the waves of. And I heard exactly what to do next. I heard the next step, and I took it, and it was doing this seminar. And I still use that shit every day of my life. And it opened the door to give me the strength to, and the fortitude to pursue the things that, you know, I grew up in a really religious sort of setting, Pentecostal, if anybody knows what that is. Even when I was really young, a lot of that didn't resonate with me, and caused a lot of tension growing up. But that same thing, that same energy of like, hey, just kind of like sit down, sit in your seat, be like everybody else, like stay, like just don't shine, don't do what's really inside of you. And the universe, it had other plans for me because I was born gay. Growing up in the country with that, yeah, you stick out. I just never had a life or a way of looking at the world that did not question shit, did not like ask questions that didn't make sense to me. Because even when I was younger, I saw energy around things, and I didn't around people and things and animals and life in general. I grew up on a farm, so it was like that connection. I saw it, but I never really knew how to express it or the language, and I was really clear other people weren't talking about it. So it just sort of led me down this path to these really rich understandings of the universe, and it resonates with you on every cell of your being. You know that it's true, but the reality is, like, in life, it doesn't always show up that way. And like what got us here is not gonna get us there. And when the pandemic hit, all of that stuff started to emerge, and I started to see, oh my God, like all of these lessons that I accumulated, this big bag of wisdom doesn't mean shit unless you use it or apply it to life. Like all of that stuff became really clear to me that what was happening to me on an individual level was happening on a collective level. Something about the pandemic energetically just blew the lid off of it. I don't care who you are, if you're human and connected to yourself, just even a little bit, you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that we're not, and we can't literally go backwards in time anymore. We have to accept where we're at, accept what's happening, accept these awakenings that are happening inside of human beings, because the reality is we are evolving. This planet that we're on, this planet that's connected to this beautiful park, like Earth, where we all live, is alive. She is evolving. Her energy's feminine. That's why I call her she. Mother Earth, taking care of us. And it's time that we have to take care of her too, and be in harmony with everything around us. All the people around us, all the life around us. We can't walk around living from our egoic states anymore. Like this thing telling us that we're like superior to, that we run everything and can tell other people what to do. Like, no, like all of that old thinking, it doesn't work anymore. It's like, the next question is, Why do I keep seeing it everywhere? Why does it seem like it's getting worse? Well, it's always darkest right before the dawn. You can't pretend anymore. All of this stuff, all of this debris from the way we used to think is coming up to clear. It's coming up for the light of day. So we can see all of these aspects of how we relate to everything, how we relate to ourselves, how we relate to each other. Most of human beings walk around thinking that the world's happening to them. I used to be one of them. It's a very fearful place. But the reality is it's not happening that way. That's why we have such problems, because we are not aware of that. The evolution is understanding that it's happening through us. And when we come into harmony with that, everything changes. Like new ideas start to emerge. You're tapping into something else. You're tapping into something constructive. So when something new is being born, something is evolving in us, which it always is, all the time. It always has been. But the reality is the lid's off of it, and we can talk about it and be in harmony with it and shape it. But you gotta wake up. You have to wake up. Like nothing can happen until you become aware of it. And you are the only one that can make yourself become aware of it. But that's where I can help, because there are a lot of ways that we can leverage just a little bit of understanding, a little bit of wisdom into our lives to make huge impacts. And when we surround ourselves with a community of other people that are doing that same thing, like your transformation doesn't have to take 20 or 30 years like mine did. It can happen faster. In fact, it's going to happen faster. But whenever you're inside of the world of transformation, there's some shit you need to know. Otherwise, it is like the scariest thing in the world, because really what's happening is you're going through the eye of the needle of whatever it is that's in your way of you moving into alignment with what your life is calling you to be. Like, we don't have to survive this shit anymore. We literally can wake up out of it and thrive in it. In fact, that's being in harmony with it. So when I accepted this and this all started to come, and I started to integrate a lot of what just came out of my mouth, is really like when I can connect with my guides in such a way that it kind of like all comes out, and hopefully it connects and makes sense. I'm a work in progress like everybody else. I'm not trying to like, you've got to live your life like this. The exact opposite. I'm like, you've got to get in touch with the authentic part of you that has a gift to give to the world that it needs right now. And I'm here to accelerate that. Like, so everything that I'm doing with Michael Abney Life is about accelerating that evolution, using my lens to create really fun, creative ways to evolve out of this.